So we've got the namas, we've got the niyamas, we have the asana, and the samadhi. So what do all those mean? Look after yourself, because when you're exuding energy, support, positivity, then it spreads beautifully, just like negativity and pessimism can also spread. But it's also on the subtle level, violent towards ourselves, what we say to ourselves. So even the most healthiest person, so when we think of healthy, we think, okay, they exercise regularly, they eat well, look after themselves. But even the most healthiest person can become diseased. In my corporate world, we did a experiment on rice, where we spoke to one jar with negative words and one jar with positive words, because it's not just the words themselves, although the words are quite powerful, but it's the energy that you put behind them. Everything is energy. We are energy. I saw a really good quote from Will Smith, who said, never make any decision when you're feeling in a bad place, because it's not going to reflect your true self, which is the joy and stillness, and it's a neutral place. But also to not make any decisions when you're in a really elated, happy place, because you kind of had the tendency to want to do everything, and then in reality when it comes to it, we might not be able to follow that through, and then you get all sorts of guilt and failure things that come in. Our next session is actually about saying no, and I think this is a really powerful one, and one that you're kind of learning throughout your life really. It's not easy, but once you start applying it and you start to see the positive results, it does become easier. When I first got back from living overseas, I was working in corporate, working really, really hard, and I came back and I just crashed for various reasons, family trauma, setting up a business, a whole life change, country change, weather, all sorts of things. And basically I had to say no to everything. This was my biggest lesson. And I think the main reason I ended up in that place was because I was a yes person. This is like a popular thing, you know, in the world, to be busy, but actually we can do stuff by being less busy and being more happy. It's just about finding out how. So if you're in a yoga class and you're in your meditation, you get to your meditation, and then you expect to be completely relaxed. So if you have too much high expectation on that and that doesn't happen, then you're bound to be disappointed and maybe even frustrated or even angry. Angry maybe at the class, at the teacher, at yourself, and then going into sort of a negative spiral from there. But actually, if you go in there without any expectations, most likely you've probably guessed that you probably will have quite a successful being, peaceful meditation, and at the same time you won't be disappointed. So it's trying to get that level of, it's not about not caring, but it's just going, oh, let's just see what happens, that kind of mindset. You're going a bit deeper into that, then you're talking also about cleansing your system, like your gut. We know these days as well that the gut is linked to the mind and the peace of the mind, cleansing your liver, all these different internal things. It's like this story of I'll give you two metaphors here. The first one, imagining there's a leaf on a river and it's floating down the river, and this leaf is trying to hang on. Of course, the leaf is never going to go back up that river, and yet it's spending a lot of time just trying to hang on, and it doesn't know where it's going, and yet it lets go. And it flows down and it's able to easily move through the different bends of the river. And you have so many things floating around. You've got yesterday, the week before, you've got today, you've got tomorrow, you've got next week, you've got next month, you've got next year. And that's just to start. You've got what you're eating, what you're not eating, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. You've got places you used to work, countries you might have lived in, places you will be going in the future. You've got maybe children, maybe you haven't, maybe the decision about that. There's so many things. You know, you want to introduce some exercise, some hobbies, and maybe there's something going on in the family at the moment. You know, we have so many things going on within us that it's floating around all over in lots of different places. And this one point of concentration is to try and bring that, to just draw it all in, just gather it all in into one point of concentration, and that be the thing that you focus on. Just like there's many different kinds of teachers, find your yoga vibe. And there's lots of different types of therapists but you pick the one that you resonate with, and it's just the same with the tips and techniques for our monthly mindfulness. So I'm going to leave you now with the quote at the end of this session. Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, and to the self. And this is from the Bhagavad Gita. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.